welcome to Bonita's Kitchen, and thank you for joining us. What I'm going to be making for you today is blueberry shortcake. Okay, so what we're going to do now, we're going to start with creaming together 1 cup of room temperature butter. It could be salted. The reason why I'm saying it could be salted because there's no salt added to this recipe, and if you've got salted butter, then you don't need to use it. And we're going to add 1/2 cup of white sugar. I'm going to cream this together until it's nice and fluffy. Okay, so this is starting to look nice and creamy. So what we're going to do now is add in 1 egg at a time. So you just toss it in and then blend it in until that one is blended through, and then we'll put in the second egg. Okay, so that's our second egg. So basically what we're doing here now, we're making our cake portion for our blueberry shortcake. So I'm going to blend this together, and we're going to add in now 1.5 teaspoonfuls of vanilla. So this is 1. I guess you could be a little generous and have a bit extra is fine. So this is looking really nice here now. When it's nice and creamy, it do help aerate your cake so that it'll rise nice. So what we're going to do now, we're going to sift together 2 cups of white flour. You can use wheat if you don't want to use white. And we're going to use 1.5 teaspoonfuls of baking powder. So that's 1.5 teaspoonful of baking powder. So what we're going to do now is sift this all together into our bowl. So you can continue sifting until it's all done. So once again, this is a blueberry shortcake, and this blueberry shortcake was brought to me by one of our viewers, and like I'm taking suggestions. If you got a Newfoundland traditional recipe that your parents used to use or you used yourself, just message me, email me, or message me on Bonita's Kitchen, and we'll put it on our lineup. So blend this together all like this, and then until it starts to incorporate. And we're going to be using 1 cup of evaporated milk, or you can use cream or even milk, that's fine. I'm using evaporated milk because this is what it calls for. In most Newfoundland recipes, they used years ago carnation milk, we call it, but it's really evaporated milk. So we're going to blend this in gradually to our mixture. So our last drop of evaporated milk, and I'm going to continue stirring this together into our batter until it's all incorporated. Okay, this looks nice and creamy. So what we're going to do now is fold in 1/2 cup of fresh or frozen blueberries, whatever you got in your kitchen, and you just fold this in because you don't want to mix it. If you mix it, your batter will be all blue, and this is what it'll look like. Okay, so this is nice. Alright, I'm just going to put this to the side for a moment. I'm using a pie pan. You could use a square pan, it's fine. But a pie pan, because we're making a shortcake, I want for it to be really nice, and I want it to be round. So what I'm doing now is greasing the bottom of my pan and equally grease it so that you don't stick your cake to it. Okay, so after you've finished greasing your pan, you're going to put all of your batter into this pan. You're going to preheat your oven to 350 degrees, and then when you're ready to put your cake pan in, or your pie pan and your cake in there, you're going to set your timer to 25 minutes for bake time. Okay, so it's going to look something like this. So what we're going to do now is put this in the oven, and like I said, 350 degree oven for 25 minutes or until golden brown. And then we're going to get started on our sauce for the middle of our blueberry shortcake, and I'll show you how that's done. What we're going to do now is the blueberry sauce portion of this blueberry shortcake. So it's 2 cups of fresh or frozen blueberries, and this is blueberry season here in Newfoundland, and we're picking a lot of blueberries this last little while. And we got 3 tablespoonfuls of sugar, and we got 2 tablespoonfuls of cornstarch. Put it all in there. And we got 1 tablespoonful of lemon juice, freshly squeezed or from this little container. So what we're going to do now, so all that's together, we're going to just mix this a little bit together so it's all incorporated. We're going to put it on our stove top on medium heat for about 5 to 7 minutes until it starts to bubble and thicken. Okay, we're doing really good here now. So we got our cake in the oven, 350 degrees for 25 minutes or till golden brown, depending on your oven. We got our blueberry sauce cooking on the stove, which is going to be 5 to 7 minutes. Now what we're going to do is our whipping cream for the top of our blueberry shortcake. Okay, so I got 1 cup of whipping cream, and you can use a cream of your choice, whatever one is favorable to you. I'm saying whipping cream. You can use NutriWhip, whatever you like. 2 tablespoonfuls of icing sugar. This is the powder icing sugar. And I got a cold bowl. What I did is put my bowl in the freezer while I was preparing everything else, and it works nice. So I'm going to start blending here, then I'm going to turn it off for just a little bit. Okay, this is pretty well done. Okay, now that we've completed this stage, I'm going to put this back into the fridge. Never leave your whipping cream at room temperature because you don't want for it to go bad. Put it back in the fridge until we're ready to do all of the layers. So it looks like our blueberry sauce is ready. You want to leave the blueberries all like that, and it looks nice. So let's take it back to my counter and we'll put it on a ice vat. Okay, so I'm going to reach for my pot, and I'm going to put the sauce out into a measuring cup or a small bowl, whichever, because it's quite hot, so you want it in something that's not going to melt or burn. And what I'm going to do now, after I've scooped all of this out, I'm going to take it and put it into a bowl of ice and cold water, because I want for this to go to room temperature. And when it's at room temperature, and our cake is done, we'll layer it and we'll be ready then to top it. Okay, our cake is done. Just to let you know that previous to this taping, I told you 20 minutes for your cake in the oven. 25 minutes is the halfway point, and 45 minutes to bake time. So just check it halfway through, and then take it and put it on for another 20 minutes. So now I'm going to take it out of this dish, and then I'm going to let it cool until it's about room temperature, because we can't layer the whipped cream and all of that, because you know what'll happen, it'll melt. So I guess meet me back here in about 10 minutes and we'll get started on the rest. Okay, this is where the fun part starts. Our cake is cool. We got our whipped cream, and we got our blueberry sauce, which is now nice and cool. So we'll get started now layering. Okay, so now we'll start with our blueberry sauce. So we're going to put lots of sauce on there, nice big dollops, and we're going to smooth it over. And now we're going to be putting nice dollops of whipped cream. And just remember to leave a little bit of each one, because when you're ready to serve this to your guests or to your family, you want a little bit to put on the plate with it, because it just makes it look really nice. So this is what you're going to do here. You're just going to spread it over, but put it so that you can see all of the layers. Okay, and now we're going to top with a nice helping of blueberries. And like you said, you can put as much as you like. And I made a little bit of a syrup out of my blueberry sauce, and you can just put it over the top as well. Okay, this is what your blueberry shortcake is going to look like. Now I'm going to cut off a nice piece for you to see the inside. Okay, so now I'm going to cut a nice piece for you to see what it looks like on the inside. We're going to put another bit of sauce there, and we're going to put another bit of cream because we want lots. Get a little bit more of our juice, and this is what our blueberry shortcake looks like. It's absolutely delicious. Okay, so this ends our episode of Blueberry Shortcake. I hope this episode was helpful for you. Just remember that you follow the recipe when doing this, and it will help you, with your ingredients. So if you got another recipe that you would like for us to do on Bonita's Kitchen, please send it to us and we can put it in on our lineup. Please take the time to share and subscribe to Bonita's Kitchen, and in the top right hand corner you will see that subscription button. So please try this beautiful dessert with your family, and thank you for joining us again for Bonita's Kitchen. You have a wonderful day.